After what happened the night before, you were unable to fall asleep the whole night. It was because of what he had called you in his half-drunken state. Okay, well, he hadn't been drinking anything, but he might as well have been. After the words left his lips, you weren't so tired as you thought you were. You could have even sparred with him all over again if he would have been awake. You got up and ruffled your bird nest-like hair as you tried to make sense, once again, of what Bakugo had called you. Babe. He had called you Babe! Not only that, but he also hugged you close as you carried him to his dorm while he muttered things like how soft or warm you were. You knew he wasn't himself in that moment because of the hit you had inflicted on his head, but it still got you flustered and giddy all over. But it also made you feel gloomy for that very reason. It wasn't the real Bakugo that said those things to you. It was just something that had accidentally slipped past his lips. There surely was no meaning behind them, so it was probably for the better if you tried not to think about it. Why are you doing this to me, you blonde, spiky-haired asshole? You shouted, slapping your hands on your face a little too hard. But you didn't care. Yeah, as if you could just forget it just like that. You sighed, and finally got out of bed to start your day now that you definitely weren't even a little bit tired anymore. Since you woke up at the ass crack of dawn on a Saturday morning, you decided to finish your homework now that you had time. Because of your lack of time or the skill of planning, more often you found yourself waiting until the day before the due date to do your homework, and you were guilty of this habit. It really doesn't matter if you do your homework the same day you got it or the same morning you were supposed to return it, as long as it's done before the teacher collects it. Close calls like these make life interesting, and you have to have something to laugh about when you're older, you would always say when Bakugo scolded you of this habit. He would scoff and growl that you'll regret it later. You definitely do, but you keep making the same mistake over and over again. Sometimes you even wonder how or why he still has any patience for you. He hasn't even once called you a loser for not doing your homework earlier, but he has said it to Kaminari, Mina, and Sero a few times in the past. And Bakugo even helps you with it if you still hadn't figured it out. Well, maybe there's a chance he... No, that can't be it. He's probably just pitying you. There is nothing between you two. You lost track of time while you kept on writing each page. Only when your morning alarm went off, you knew it was a reasonable time to go downstairs for breakfast. You closed your book and began your usual morning routine, putting on your casual clothes and brushing and styling your hair as you always did. Looking in the mirror, you could see faint dark circles under your eyes, but fortunately they weren't that noticeable. With a deep breath, you stepped out of your dorm room to go have some breakfast in the common room kitchen. As soon as you stepped out of the elevator, smirking faces and grinning smiles were sent your way, even from the other side of the room. Most of the class were already eating breakfast, but there were some missing individuals. To your luck, Bakugo was nowhere in sight. You considered going back to your room and hope your hunger wouldn't bother you too much, but you knew it wasn't a real option. Well, look who's here! Good morning. Mina smiled from ear to ear as you came over to the so-called Baku Squad table, where Sero and Kirishima were also occupying the table. Please, Mina, it's too early for this, and don't you give me that look! You pleaded with Mina, but turned to Kirishima when he had a smug smirk plastered on his face. He was there when Bakugo said all those embarrassing things to you, so he already knew more than he was supposed to. Oh, he's so not gonna let me live this down. What? I haven't done anything. He jokingly lifted his arms up in surrender. Kirishima was a man of his word, with no intention of breaking his promise. Is there something we should know? Sero questioned, leaning forward on his elbows. No. You answered way too fast for it to be a convincing lie. You ignored the looks you got and went to make yourself some toast along with some fruit. It didn't stop their questions, though. Something must have happened yesterday. You're acting so unusual, Mina piped up from her seat. Maybe they kiss, Hagakure squealed from beside you. You took a few steps back in surprise. You had no idea she was even there, though her hoodie and pants flew in the air. We did not, you sputtered out. You wanted to hide from all the embarrassment. Why are you stuttering? She teased. You grabbed your food and sat next to Mina. Come on, guys. It's way too early. Nothing like that happened. Me and Kiri took him to his room and that's it. You tried to persuade them. Is that true, Kiri? Zero nudged the boy next to him. I'm not telling, he answered, and your friend's eyes widened. Damn you, Kirishima! Oh, now you gotta tell us! No more lying, Mina exclaimed. You started drinking your water as a weak excuse to not answer. He was acting like such a softie towards you yesterday when you left for the elevators. Well, something else must have happened there. Momo jumped in the conversation. Come on, not you too! By the way you're acting, it's obvious you have feelings for him, Jiro continued. I have no idea what you're talking about, you said, and went to take another sip. Mina was getting impatient with curiosity. Oh, come on, She didn't get to finish. You were averting your gaze around the room so you wouldn't make eye contact with any of your teasing classmates. However, this action caused you to make eye contact with the one person you were not ready to meet yet. The water in your mouth came spraying out like a water jet back into the glass you drank from. Some of it spraying on the floor and some of it going down the wrong pipe. You started coughing your lungs out while leaning to the side out of Bakugo's field of vision. Mina started patting your back in hopes of helping you feel better. Oi, what's all this damn commotion about? I feel like shit, so shut up, he said while gently rubbing his head. More specifically, the spot you had kicked yesterday. Hey bro, how's your head? You got quite a hit while sparring last night. Kirishima stood up to meet Bakugo halfway. You didn't dare to lift your head, so you opted to stay hunched over and try to cough up the remaining water out of your lungs. I'm fine. What are you talking about me getting hit? He growled out. Kiri, don't do this to me. I'm already done for, so why are you still talking? You glared at the red-haired boy. Some of the girls had come over to give you some paper towels to clean the floor and yourself with. Bakugo gave you a glance, but you pretended to clean the floor like it had a massive stain on it. Even you knew that looked hella awkward, scrubbing down a floor that was already clean. But you were feeling so many emotions that you didn't care. You just wanted to do something so he wouldn't look at you. Oh, you don't remember? You and a certain someone were sparring and they knocked you out cold. They dragged you all the way from the training grounds back here to the dorms, Kirishima explained. And you could feel Bakugo's eyes on you. And you didn't know if it was the, I'll tell you thank you later, or, oh, you think you can beat me type. Oh man, we should have taken a video. You were acting all like... Zero didn't get to finish when you stood up faster than a lightning bolt, sputtering bullshit nonsense like a flustered idiot. Zero! No, wait, shit, hey! Katsuki! You blurted out while marching over to the ash blonde. Only then did you realize what you had said. You could hear Mina, secretly, snickering while banging her fist on the table, while others watched the show in interest. You are such a mess when you're flustered. I mean Bakugo, you corrected yourself. Since you're, feeling a little bit off, I think it would be a good idea for you to pay a visit to the recovery girl. What do you say, yeah? You spoke fast, and Bakugo stared at you in confusion and unsureness. What's up with you? He asked, not sounding angry for once. Absolutely nothing. So, are we going? Yes? No? You spoke way too fast again. What am I doing? You screamed in your head. Bakugo began. Is that a yes I hear? Perfect! Then we'll get going. You grabbed Bakugo's wrist and began to pull him out the door. He was about to shout at you in protest, but you shut him up. Only you had the balls to do so occasionally, and to this day you still wonder how you're even alive. Bakugo grumbled under his breath, but didn't try to pull away from your grip. He let you drag him all the way to Recovery Girl's office, and you knocked on the door 3 times. You heard a faint, "Come in," and opened the door. Recovery Girl sat in her chair as you walked in, still holding onto Bakugo's wrist. "Good morning, children. What brings you two here?" the old heroine asked calmly. We were sparring yesterday, and see, I accidentally knocked Bakugo out cold by kicking him in the head, so can you check if he's actually alright?" you requested. "I could have taken care of this myself," Bakugo roared, but still didn't fight against your hold. "Yeah, well, you're too stubborn to do this on your own," you taunted back.
"Huh? What did you just say?"
"You heard me. Now get treated. I'll be waiting outside," you said, and stepped out of the office. Once you closed the door behind you, you were left with yourself in the empty hallway. You thought about this morning's events so far, and came to the conclusion that you're officially dead. There's no way around it. You're either going to die by Bakugo's hands once he's in his full power again, or from embarrassment when you get back to the dorms when your friends are waiting for your return. You sunk to the floor while pulling your hair out in frustration. Seriously, what were you thinking? Sputtering nonsense in front of everyone, even dragging your friend, who's also your crush, out of the dorms in front of everyone, and on top of that, you started bickering with him as if nothing had happened just moments prior, and even that was in front of a one-person audience. Well, you might as well just start writing your last will and testament. Maybe you'll throw in a couple words of advice on what you should not do in front of someone you like. You were still muttering to yourself on the floor when you heard the door to the healer's office open and close.
"Oi, what are you sitting on the floor for?"
Bakugo's harsh tone cut through the air. You looked up at him, and he was back to normal. He didn't wince in pain or walk like he was feeling dizzy. He stood up, but looked away from him. "I'm sorry, Bakugo," you apologized. The boy lifted a brow at this.
"What the hell are you talking about?"
"I'm talking about my behavior this morning. I probably made you feel embarrassed in front of everyone. I'm sorry. Everyone was teasing me about yesterday, and especially Kiri was teasing me about what you had said to me, and it caught me off guard, and—"
"What did I say then?"
You blinked, blushing. "Huh?"
"Spit it out already. What did I say that got you all flustered?"
He stepped closer to you, and you in response took one step back until your back hit the wall, successfully leaving you nowhere to run. When me and Kiri were taking you to your room, you kept hugging me closer while I carried you, muttering how soft and warm I was. But you also called me babe when we got you to bed." You closed your eyes. You couldn't stand his sharp crimson stare that you had a hard time understanding. You expected the worst, but was surprised when the next sentence came from him.
"That's it?"
"Oh, wait, what do you mean, that's it?" you inquired, turning to face him again.
"Exactly what I said. I don't think it's that big of a deal."
"But we aren't even—" You stopped yourself, unable to finish the sentence.
"What? A couple? I thought it was obvious."
You saw him blush slightly. You pondered his words for a moment. He saw you as his partner? He likes you too? Since when? "You've never said that you liked me," you murmured.
"I thought I didn't need to. Words are way too complicated. It's better to just show how you feel towards someone instead of saying pointless lies," he said.
Suddenly, all the times you spent together in the past few months came back to you. Memories of how he would lend a hand in training or homework, how he would once in a while invite you to his room to watch a movie and you would share popcorn together, or how you and him acted together in general. From an outsider's point of view, people would probably think you two were a thing. But you just couldn't go on without proper confirmation. Then what are we? I want a verbal answer. You stared deep into his eyes, almost challengingly.
You want a verbal answer? He repeated, and proceeded to close in on your face. Tell me, do you have feelings for me? You shivered under his gaze, but you stood up straighter and said, I do. I've had them for some time now, you confessed. And do you think I feel the same?
What was he on about now? He just practically said that he thought you and him were a couple, and now he asked you if he had feelings for you? Is he just playing around? Your tone tells me that you're trying to tease me. When that's the case, then yes, I think you do, you said confidently. He grinned. That's that confidence I was drawn to, he remarked. Well, I think this settles it. You're mine now, he declared, and finally closed the distance between you. You didn't complain, wanting nothing more than to enjoy this moment. The kiss was over sooner than you wanted it to be. Maybe it was better that you weren't making out in front of the school hallway and in front of the healer's office. If you're going to call me yours, then don't think I won't do the same. You two started to walk down the hall back towards the 1A dormitory. Oh, really? Just a minute ago you admitted you felt nervous when I called you babe yesterday. Or did I hear you wrong, Your Highness? That was yesterday. Now I'm more confident than ever. And don't you dare call me that again. You nudged his arm playfully. You're an idiot, he called. And you're an ass, you called back. Oh dear, Recovery Girl muttered. Those two fight and act like an old married couple already. She laughed while shaking her head, retreating back inside her office. Okay, here we go. You know, sometimes you just want to... But maybe it was better that you would... You could see faint dark circles under your eyes, but fortunately they weren't that noticeable. Okay, Shinzo. I'll be here all week. Thanks, guys. As you came over to the so-called Baku squad. He was acting like such a softie towards you, towards anemone. With a deep breath, you stepped out of your dorm room to go have some breakfast in the common room kitchen. Alright guys, it's time to socialize! Let's do this! Kirishima. Oi, what are you sitting on the floor for? What are you sitting on the floor for?
Wendy's 444. Floor. Blah, blah, blah. When my cousin was a baby, he would do this thing. So whenever his mom was talking and he didn't want to listen to her, he would talk like the vampires off of Hotel Transylvania. He would go, blah, blah, blah. But he would do it so angrily. He would be like, blah, blah, blah.
Oh my god, did we get to do a spit take? Fun fact, I do all of my spit takes IRL. Like, I have a glass of water and I spit out water everywhere, and this is the best part of my day. That was a sound.
Hey, Katsuki! I mean Bakugo!
I channeled my inner marionette for that.
Of course I like you. Well, like, but not like that.
What am I to you?
You're... toilets!
You know what I just thought about? Ghostbusters! Ah! Todoroki, a Ghostbuster. Oh my god!
Hi, my name's Todoroki. Welcome to Ghostbusters with Todoroki. Today we're going to be hunting the ghost of the person who ate the soba that I clearly labeled and left in the refrigerator for me. Cause see, when I find you, I'm gonna kill you. And we could just end the episode here because I already know damn well who it was.
his sharp crimson stare that you had But maybe it was better that you weren't.
Do you have feelings for me?
I mean, what kind of feelings are we talking about? Because honestly, it's bold of you to assume that I have feelings in the first place. I'm an empty shell. I'm a peep, bitch. Chirp, chirp, like a chicken. You just a peep. As for me, they call me Big Birds. It's face freckles, and I don't know how to say words because I stumble over them all the time. That's me. She laughed while shaking her head, retreating back inside her office. So, was Recovery Girl just out here watching y'all make out? Cause, What? Then what are we? We are farmers. Bum 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 bum.